Saurabh, firstly, a huge congratulations on Khatron Ke Khiladi. I think we were very surprised to see you in Nach Baliya, and now to see you in Khatron Ke Khiladi, it's taken us by another huge surprise. So, how much of a surprise was it for you to actually do the show as well?
Honestly, I always wanted to be part of Khatron Ke Khiladi as a reality show. This was one show which I always wanted to be part of.
Mhm.
Nach Baliya happened. That happened organically, and I'm very grateful that that happened. But Khatron Ke Khiladi is one show which I always wanted to be part of for the amazing stunts that we get to do in the show.
Mhm.
Earlier also, I think twice I got the call for Khatron, but it did not materialize because I was doing one show or the another. But this
Uh-huh.
time, due to pandemic and due to lockdown, there was no regular show happening. So when this came up, I just took it up.
Yeah, it's true because I think the last memory I have of seeing you actually was in Patiala Babes, and that show just ended so like I was getting into the stream of it even after the leap, and then it just shut completely. So I guess at
Yeah.
that point, when things like that happen, I'm sure it pretty much makes you more determined to do shows like Khatron Ke Khiladi, right? Because I guess you're left with no other option in that sense as well to kind of do, right?
You're relating it in a different way. It's not that that because it got off and that became a reason for me to do Khatro. No, not like that. I've always wanted to be part of this show for the stunts,
Yeah.
and yeah, it is unfortunate that because of the lockdown, the channel and took this call of dropping Patiala Babes. But then whatever happens, I believe happens for good. So it's okay. No worries.
hmm Right. So when you signed the line and decided to go on Khatron Ke Khiladi, what was your expectations of the show then? I mean, how prepared were you actually for doing it? Because I think it's just such
Uh,
a crazy show in terms of the stunts and stuff.
yeah. So in terms of preparation, I can't say that I did this or that because honestly, because of the lockdown, the gyms were closed, swimming pools were not functioning. So that did not happen. So whatever little I could do at home, I was doing that only.
Mhm.
So nothing in terms of preparation that I can mention other than maybe the mind thing that you are getting into something which is not going to be easy. So that's about it.
And I think it's interesting as well because in a lot of your in the filmography that you've done, a lot of the characters you've played have been quite mythological characters. Like you played, I think Lord Krishna is perhaps my most fondest memory of you actually. In Mahabharat, I think I was such a huge fan, and I just love that show and the way you played Krishna Bhagwan in that. So having played those sort of characters, and because you sort of it is such a very divine role, and it kind of takes a certain level of patience and calmness in terms of playing such roles. Did that ever help you in terms of your journey when you were doing stunts and high octane things where it could have been stressful? So did that sort of divine link ever help you in that sense to sort of calm you down?
I would say that being calm helps in every aspect of life, no
Uh-huh.
matter it is anything.
Mhm.
So that did help in certain ways. But stunts is something there are certain stunts in which the calmness is is something that you don't have to depend upon.
Mhm.
It is more about being in that moment, and
Mhm.
you got to like really. Sometimes you got to be like really on the edge to do or complete one particular stunt because the timing is often an issue there. It's not that you have a lot of time and calmly and relax, you can just complete the stunt. It's not like that. You got to be on your foot and you got to be running and completing the stunt. So
Mhm.
yeah, in the mind, it does help at times, but you got to balance it out, I believe.
Mhm. Was there ever any fears? What fears did you have, and how do you feel like you've conquered them, if at all?
I did fear actually creepy crawlies because
Asta said the same thing as well to me, actually.
yeah, because I never imagine you can't imagine yourself to be among all those things and just being in center and whatever. So yeah, that is something which I and even current I would say, because I'm somebody who gets scared even from the static current. at times,
Yeah.
when you are opening the door or something, the car handle, and the static current happens. So, and there are stunts related to current. So that is there. But did I overcome it? I don't, I can't say that, because even if you jump from plane once, I don't think you will not think twice jumping again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. No, absolutely, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, I think that's why I meant by surprise, in
Yeah.
that sense, because I'm sure you never had expected any of these. I mean, in terms of like when you're actually there, it must have been quite a huge shock to you, quite pun
Right.
intended there. So,
Right. Right.
so how did you
And
deal?
that goes for every stunt. That goes out for every stunt, because we haven't done that in our regular lives. And that exactly was happening there. But at the same time, I think I was there for that only because I wanted to experience those kind of stunts.
Right. And I'm sure being tall as well, it must have come quite handy at some points as well during the stunt sequences, right?
No, I will not say, I will not agree to it fully, because I
Oh,
think the
wow.
weight or the height or anything else has to do with the stunt, because there is some weaknesses and the strengths attached to every individual, and
Mm,
how are they using it to take it further, aiming
mhm.
it according to wherever they wanted to take it forward. That
Right.
totally is in other people's hand. It is not in your control.
Fair
So
enough.
it's
Mhm.
it's about actually, it's not only about the scary aspect of the stunts. It's also a scary aspect of not being in control, which is
Mhm.
also there. So
Okay.
that also goes hand in hand.
Very, very well said. And I think it's also interesting as well. I think speaking a bit more about your career, sort of, I think the way your career has panned out, it's just so wonderful. And even in the historical characters that you've done, as we touched upon earlier, you've also played very negative characters too, like in a show like Boris as well, which we used to follow quite regularly. So when you do play such characters, which are of differing time spaces, of differing sort of characters in that sense, what how does that help you in your day-to-day life? Because I feel like you have to get into a certain mindset, right? So how does that sort of affect you in your day-to-day life as well?
Uh, uh, See, I've been acting from quite some time, and I've played different roles. I started with a youth-based show remix, and then eventually I did
Yeah, very
various
well.
other shows, Pariche, Uttaran, and then Mahabharat, Mahadev, and then the negative that you said in Porus, and then in Chandragupta Maurya, which got carried away the character. So yeah, all of that happened, and I feel as an actor, it is just a blessing. I think that I got to play various different characters.
Hmm.
But how does it affect me in real life? Uh, I really can't say much on it, because professionally, I can say that, yeah, it all helped me becoming a better actor. Maybe even
Right.
I was not aware of it. Like after Krishna, then I used to get calls only to play Krishna again and again. I made it a point not to do it, because I just thought that I've gave it my 100% there. What else can I give in? You
Hmm.
know, so when I got an opportunity to play Shiva in Mahakali, I took it up, because it is, although a divine character, but in terms of characteristics, it's completely opposite to playing Krishna. So that is one thing I keep in mind, that how challenging the character is going to be for me to become a better actor. So that
Hmm.
is what I think I keep in mind.
Yeah, this whole conditioning thing, it does seem to very much exist. And I just think not just in television, but I think generally as well. अगर एक फॉर्मूला हिट हो जाता है या कुछ भी सक्सेसफुल हो जाता है, लोग उसको एमुलेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं. And it becomes like
No,
this practice.
but I would want to correct you here. It's not the viewers. Luckily,
Yeah, yeah. I
whatever
meant the
comments,
makers.
it's not the viewers. It's the
Hmm.
makers. I think
Yeah,
it
that's what I
is
meant. That's
it
exactly what
is
I meant. Yeah.
it is their mindset, and I don't know why they don't think out of the bracket, and why they want to just push one person into that bracket over and again, even when the person has actually done something out of the bracket and has been accepted. So
Hmm.
that is something which I think is not right.
Hmm. Right. And has that always been a fear of yours as well? Would you say that's always been something that you've been worried about as well? Because obviously, you have played such successful characters as well.
No, earlier it used to affect me, honestly, but because of not playing the same character again and again and playing different characters and getting the opportunity to I think after this, like I spoke about being Shiva, then Chandragupta Maurya, I played the negative, then Patiala Babes, Nach Baliye happened. So somewhere I do feel that, even if there is some set of people who just can't think beyond their imagination of me being that image, there are certain people who do take chance with me, and then things happen. So I will say that there are both set of peoples.
Yeah, and I think with every actor, there's always that, every time I've spoken with actors as well and interviewed them, they've often mentioned that at some point they do
Yeah.
aspire to work in Bollywood and sort of become the next Shah Rukh Khan or become the next whatever. But obviously, individuality is key, and making
Right.
yourself
Right.
known is key. Has there ever been that race to the mainstream for you ever in your career? Have you ever felt that whole need that, oh no, I want to work in films or I want to do this? Or have you just gone with the flow and gone with whatever came to you?
No, I think, like I said, that it's always about going with the flow and about just keeping in mind the character is challenging enough or not. That is the only
Right.
key thing that I keep in mind.
So on a final note,
Yeah.
sort of before I let you go, how would you sum up your overall Khatron Ke Khiladi experience, especially working with a lot of the other contestants as well?
Honestly, I did not know anybody before I went there. Only Vishal I can say, because I did Nachbali the season
Yes.
that I was part of. He was there,
Ah.
but even then, I think because I was rehearsing not with all of them, I was shooting outside Mumbai, so I was rehearsing in different part of the region. So I did not bond as much as other people bonded there. So I can't say that, I did not know anybody. So only once I reached there, I met, it was the first time meeting. And I am a little introvert kind of a person. I don't open up so easily.
Yeah.
So it takes time, but at the same time, I gelled well with everybody. And I do believe in the saying that Kabira Khada Bazaar mein mange sabki khair, na kisi se dosti, na kisi se bair. It is that.
Beautiful. What a great way to conclude our session. But honestly, Saurabh, thank you so much for joining me on Filme Shilmy. I mean, I've watched your work and I think you're absolutely tremendous. And honestly, I just can't wait to see more from you. I think not just in Khatron Ke Khiladi, but also beyond that. So a huge congratulations and can't wait to catch up with you again soon.
Thank you so much. My
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.